listening to Her Profit Era, the podcast for founders who want a business that actually works. A business that's profitable, predictable, and pays them well. I am Cindy Kumar, a CPA, a fractional CFO from Abbotsford, BC, Canada. I'm the person founders call when they're tired of high revenue months with no money left over. I started this podcast because too many founders were chasing sales while their margins, cash flow, and bank accounts told a completely different story. I believe profit and money in the bank is the standard, not a bonus, and that every founder deserves clarity around their numbers. Each week, you'll get real financial strategy you can actually use and honest conversations with founders and industry experts about what it really takes to build a business that lasts. Today's episode is going to be a little different. It's actually going to be released on my birthday. So I'm super excited to record this. I've had so many questions about my content strategy, my marketing strategy. I've shared some carousel and some tips like on my stories as well, but I really wanted to record a podcast episode on it. So let's get into it. I know creating content all the time, showing up online, recording your personal life as B-roll, recording videos, having like a little portable mic all the time, it can be so exhausting. And to be honest, it's not sustainable in the long run. As someone that built her entire accounting business on social media, Instagram, we take content creation so seriously. And I really just want to share some things with you that you can make it more fun and more sustainable in the long run. So for 3 years, I posted 7 days no matter what. Even if I had no content batched, I would be sitting there the day of, going through my carousels and Canva, going through my phone, trying to find B-roll, or even talking reels and posting it on the day. I feel like I was so reactive all the time. I originally started with just wanting to share accounting and tax tips. And I was super passionate and excited about that. And then over time, you start following so many different people. You start comparing yourself. You just lose focus of why you're even posting content. So what really happened for me in Q4 is I really took a step back. I didn't want to be an influencer and recording everything in my personal life. If we're just constantly recording stuff, posting it on social media, we just forget to be present with the people we're with, friends, family, even being on a trip. It just becomes this whole production and content strategy, which isn't really sustainable. And so in Q4 of 2025, I just really took a step back. I'm just I don't want to be in my 40s and 50s and having to post content every single day in order for my business to make money. And what really happened was okay, I'm just going to take a step back. I'm posting 7 days a week. What if I just post 3 times a week? If I'm posting 3 times a week, that's only 12 posts I need to create. So what I started doing is, as ideas would start to come up, I used Airtable. I just started saving my ideas in there. Even if it's 3 to 4 ideas, that's totally fine. I just save it in there. And then at the end of the month, I take a CEO week. That's when I record my podcast. I create all my content, my carousels, you name it. That's when I do all of it. And it really allows me to focus. And then during that time, I'm taking those ideas I saved into Airtable throughout the month. It really just needs to be 3 or 4. And I'm just creating content from that. So I'll create some carousels, I'll do some talking reels about it, I'll do some B-roll, I'll create some like quote kind of carousel posts, kind of static posts, whatever it is. Um, and that's just all I'm doing. And I have two Instagram accounts. So I have the Elevated Accounting and I have my personal one. It's Cindy Kumar. And I'm using the same type of content on both accounts. Now, you don't have to create 12 posts on totally different things. Really, just like as ideas are coming to you, like what I've really started doing is like I go on walks with no podcast, no music, and I just let myself just be. And that silence really, I get so many ideas during those quiet walks, or sometimes even when I'm sleeping or even when I'm in the shower, just giving myself the space to think about things. And it's really made a huge difference because once I sit down and have that CEO kind of week where I'm just focusing on the content part, and then I'm just like posting, scheduling everything for Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn as well. I'm using the same kind of posts. Even my podcast episodes are similar to what I'm posting on social media as well. So it's not like I'm creating different pieces for different things. They're all using the same kind of content. And if you're just like, I don't know what to post, like you're looking at trends, you're comparing yourself to other people in your industry, or maybe like influencers, coaches that have all these followers, I want you to take a pause, do a social media detox. So, what I've been doing is going through the list of people I'm following, and it's just like, if your content doesn't make me feel good, or it's not inspiring or helping me, then I don't need to follow you. So, I've unfollowed a lot of accounts and it's totally okay. Depending on the season you're in, like maybe those people you follow with, or even the people you connected with, like you don't need to follow them. Like it's totally fine to unfollow people. And I think there's just this fear, like if I unfollow them, is there gonna be drama or whatever? Most people don't even notice that you've unfollowed them. And if they're not engaging in their content or their content makes you feel a certain way about yourself, like, why are you doing that to yourself? It's time to unfollow. You really just need to like remove things, remove obstacles, and just make things easier for you. Now, if you're posting based on like trends or by what other people are following, you're not really being true to yourself. So once I took that pressure off of myself, started posting like 3 times a week. If I wanted to post more, I totally did. But 3 times a week, 12 posts is like the minimum work that felt good to me. And it just removed the pressure. Now, then I took a step back. There's so much like ChatGPT, AI, so much stuff, but it's like, okay, what makes you you? What are your interests? What are your hobbies? How do you work with your clients? What's like your education, your experience? For example, for myself, there's so many accountants, so many advisors out there, but it's like, what makes me me? What kind of content do I like to talk about? What do I like to do? And really, once I started doing that, like the conversations with the Dragons and founders, the conversation with Molly, the producer, um, all these kind of things are happening because I'm staying true to myself. I'm not trying to copy what another fractional CFO is doing. I'm not trying to copy what another tax accountant's doing. I'm really creating content that feels good to me and the type of clients that I work with. So, really, just take a step back and understand what makes you you. And I did this for like 90 days now, like we're in March now. So, I've been following this since Q4 of 2025. And what ended up happening? My accounting Instagram page, the engagement and like how many counts saw my posts was the exact same as me posting 7 days a week, which is crazy because I got more aligned with the content I was posting. So really, it's about quality over quantity. Now, on my personal brand side, I started talking more about like Dragon's Den, investors, founders, valuations, really all the things that like I nerd out on. And what ended up happening is Michelle Romano, for one of the dragons, I just like tagged her in one of my, well, I tagged all the dragons and CVC dragons in my post, and she actually accepted it. So if you go to her page, you'll see my face on my carousel talking about like dragons and how investor thinking isn't the same as like founder thinking, and I think we're at like about 9,000 views just on that carousel alone. And from that post alone, I got more people following me, the right type of people that I want to like connect with, which is super cool. Another thing was I bought Layla Hermosi's, um, I forgot what it was called. Fuck your mood, follow your plan. I bought her merch when I did like a branding kind of photos. I wore the sweatsuit and I just tagged her in it. My face ended up being on Layla's stories and I got 50,000 views just on that story alone. So really the reason I'm sharing this is not to brag, but to show you when you're in alignment with what you're posting, who you're taking, and what you're saying, like people can pick up on that energy. And if you're so aligned with what you're saying, why would you not get clients from it? Why would you not connect with the right type of people? It's just like a matter of time. And that those kind of content pieces, like I just created just for fun. I'm just like, okay, like a lot of people don't talk about investor thinking, founder thinking, like let's just do a post about it. Or even the interviews I've been doing with founders, even emailing Molly, like tagging her in things, DMs. It's like you got to put in the work. You can't just assume like I put this content out there, my ideal client's gonna see it and they're gonna book me. No, it doesn't work like that. Like people need to see your content consistently, and they also need to know who you are as a person. Like I see a lot of accountants, a lot of bookkeepers, even lawyers as well, or even like other businesses that like end up following me, and then I'm looking at their page and it's like just stock photos or like cartoon pictures. You go to their website, same thing. You don't really know who the founder is, why they started their business. They share like their education experience, but like anybody can do that. So like what makes you you? What do you enjoy? And you don't have to share like everything going on in your life. Just to share parts of like your personal life. Like I've been married for 9 years now, and I haven't posted a single post on about my husband, my family. Maybe I've talked about my brother because he runs like his law corp in content. But other than that, like I don't talk about my family. I talk about myself, I talk about my experiences, like all these kind of things, but you can share what you feel good with. You don't have to share like your kids, your like family, your family vacation, like whatever it is, like you can be selective on what you share about your personal life. So I hope that helps you. The 3 steps I would say to take is really take the pressure off yourself. So take a step one, take the pressure off yourself. Step two is understand what makes you you. What are your interests? What are your hobbies? Why are you so passionate about the work that you do? And let that show in your content. You might not see like the engagement things right away, but over 90 days, you're going to see a shift. You're going to see a shift in like the audience, the people that follow you. You're going to like do a social media detox, get rid of the people that don't align. And then step three is just making it sustainable. So, how can you make content creation fun? For example, for myself, I have those little mics, but other than interviewing the founders at the Dragon's Den like anniversary event, I haven't used those. I love just sitting in my car and just recording myself talking when it feels good to me. I record podcast episodes, like I pre-plan everything. I know what topics I want to talk about when I want to talk about them. So when I sit down and hit record during my CEO week, I'm not taking time to like prepare the script, prepare what I want to say. When I'm doing that Airtable thing, it's like 2 to 3 points on what I want to talk about. And then I sit down, I hit record. That's when I do all my carousels. Another thing is find what works best for you. So like during the day, like I've tried creating content, but it just doesn't like I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. What I really enjoy is like listening to some music, having my laptop and laying on the couch and just creating the carousels and being creative. Or sometimes like I'm watching sports with my husband or watching Dragon's Den, Shark Tank, like whatever it is, do what works for you. Don't listen to these content creators or what people are saying, like you need to do this, you need to do that. Um, I've never followed like all these tips of like the algorithm likes this, algorithm likes that. Like I'm posting what feels good to me when it feels good to me. I'm not looking at like what time are my audience like active on social media. There's so many like analytics and things you can go through on social media. But I'm just like, I want to post based on when it feels good to me, when it works for my schedule. And if I'm so aligned, feel so good when I'm creating that content, like that energy's just being put out there and the right people are going to see it. If you're constantly forcing content and putting it out for the sake of posting it, like it's going to be exhausting, draining. You're going to have so many blocks on creating that content. And let's say you have an idea, like for example, I bought this whiteboard during Christmas. I got it as a Christmas gift. And I'm just like, I'm going to create all this whiteboard content. And it's March now, and I haven't done it yet. And it's okay. It's like the season I'm in. I'm going through tax season right now. I'm really just in like a maintenance kind of phase. And it's like maybe in Q2, when I have more time, more capacity, I'll create all that whiteboard content. So really, there's no rush and urgency to create a certain type of content. Really just look at what feels good to you or what's even going on or what type of shows you're watching. For example, when the Emily of the Paris, the latest season came out, they expanded into Rome, but there were so many cash flow issues and so much going on. So I just did a carousel on that. I did a post on like the Seahawks, the woman that's in charge of them right now. She's managing the estate of her brother. I think her name's like Judy Allen or something like that. I did a post on that. Like if there's something going on and it's like relevant to your thinking or what's kind of going on in the world, post it. Stuff like that, it's like, okay, get yourself thinking. Like, why does this stand out? Or what mistakes are people making in TV shows, movies, even celebrities? I have a series called More Money, More Moves, or More Money, More Problems, where I'm showcasing people that make like large sums of money. What went on? What mistakes did they make? Or what did they do differently so they ended up wealthier than going through like their contract or whatever was going on. So really just get creative. Like what are your interests? What are your hobbies? How do you view things? And watch once you start creating content like that, it's no longer going to feel forced or feel like you're creating content for the sake of it. And then also, I want to encourage you to just like reflect. So once you start posting content that feels aligned, and people start reaching out to you, whether it's like they're emailing you, they're sending you DMs, you're building these connections, you're getting clients from it. Just reflect and ask yourself, like, based on what content is this person coming from? What conversation are they coming from? And then you can do more of that. But until you know what's working, what's not, you're not gonna know. So do that for 90 days. Another thing that's really helped me is like I did a yearly forecast. So I sat down, broke down my clients by offer, what they're gonna pay me, when they're gonna pay me. At the same time, I broke down my expenses line by line, what month I'm paying what. And like even with my existing clients, so I just went from 200 clients to 70 clients. Even dropping the clients, like I'm gonna hit 6 figures with no marketing alone. So if I just focused on my existing client base and didn't post any content, like it's totally okay. And I'm not sharing that to brag. I'm just sharing that so you can take the pressure off of yourself. So I highly encourage you, sit down, look at your clients and mark down how much they're going to pay you, when they're going to pay you. And then look at the total amount. So based on your existing client relationships, like there's no need to panic and create content because you're constantly trying to sell to new people. Selling to new people is really exhausting. So focus on like your existing client base and think of content as just like a bonus. And I also want to share that there's so many ways to like market your services. Like so many businesses are offline. They don't even have social media accounts and they're doing just fine. So build like offline connections. Be intentional. So understanding who your ideal client is and then understanding who your ideal client already works with. So for example, with my fractional CFO work, I'm still building that side of my practice. So I really took a step back and it was like, okay, who do I need to connect with? I need to connect with lawyers, fractional COOs, fractional CMOs, and I just started making a list. And I've been emailing people and I've gotten responses back about people wanting to connect with me, learning more about my services, and I can learn more about them. But that's all with like building relationships. So social media is just like one aspect of marketing. It's not everything. So build a strategy that feels good to you. Also build up like your email newsletter list. So if social media disappeared tomorrow, you would lose all your followers. But if you built an email list, you had a lead magnet, you're keeping track, you're connecting with people off of social media, you have those emails, you have those connections. So that's something also to think about. So I know I gave you so many different tips, so many different strategies, but I want you to reflect on what feels good to you. You don't have to implement everything. Just take what feels good to you, test it out for 90 days, and then give me an update. If you enjoy this episode, share it with a friend who also needs support with their content or she's been feeling overwhelmed with their content. Please share it with her. Also, feel free to leave some comments. Please leave me some reviews, share it. The more it gets shared, the more people I can support, and I'll see you next time. If you're a founder who wants real strategy, not noise, and you want someone in your corner helping you build a business that feels aligned, is profitable, and actually supports your life, you can apply for CFO on Call. This is my one-on-one financial partnership for established founders, typically making between $500K to $2 million, who want clarity, who want structure and confidence with their numbers. The link is in the show notes so you can schedule a profit strategy call, or you can DM me CFO on Instagram at @Cindy Kumar and I'll send over all the details.